Morbark is committed to designing safe, user-friendly equipment. However, if proper safety procedures are not followed, there is a potential for serious injury and possibly death. Safety is not a one-time training exercise, it is a mindset and commitment to continuous adherence and improvement. By following all safety and maintenance procedures, you can expect years of safe, reliable service from your Morbark chipper. Remember, safety begins with you. Morbark strongly encourages anyone working with, on, or around hand-fed brush chippers to view this program before working with a brush chipper. In addition, it is important to read the operator's manual supplied with your Morbark chipper in its entirety. While this video contains valuable information on chipper safety, it is not a substitute for the material in the operator's manual. If you do not have an operator's manual, contact Morbark and we will be happy to provide you with one free of charge. In addition to the manual and this video, it is highly recommended that you read and become familiar with the American National Standard for Arboricultural Operations and Safety Requirements, or as it is more commonly known, ANSI Z133.1. It is important to provide access to all of these resources to all employees working with chippers and to replace these information resources if lost or worn. All new and current employees should view this program before working with the chipper, and as part of an ongoing training regimen, periodically review the video throughout the year. During the course of this video, we will demonstrate the proper clothing and personal protective equipment to wear while operating the chipper, important pre-startup procedures, operational safety, and proper techniques for chipper maintenance and care. Every operator should wear proper clothing and personal protective equipment on the job. Clothing should be close-fitting and tucked in. Hard hat, eye, and ear protection must be worn while operating the chipper. All eye protection must be OSHA approved and should consist of safety glasses with side shields, goggles, or a flip-down visor that may be plastic or mesh. Wear a sturdy pair of work pants and a good pair of steel-toed work boots with non-slip soles. Proper fitting gloves are recommended to protect the operator's hands. Gauntlet-style gloves should never be worn, due to the possibility of snagging on wood going into the chipper. Avoid wearing loose clothing, such as scarves, untucked or unbuttoned shirts and jackets, untied boots or pants with cuffs, which could get caught on the brush while chipping. Also, avoid wearing any kind of jewelry, such as earrings, watches, rings, or necklaces that could present a safety hazard. Always remove your climbing saddle, body belt, harness, or ropes before operating the chipper. Long hair should be contained or pulled back into a ponytail or braid. If operating the chipper in the evening, after sundown, or in the roadway, operators should wear reflective clothing for greater visibility. And remember, always be prepared in case of an accident. Have a first aid kit with an approved ABC fire extinguisher on site and know how to use it. Every operator should read and understand all safety and maintenance instructions within the operator's manual provided with the chipper. The chipper is equipped with decals to inform and remind operators of potential safety hazards, and all operators should review and understand all safety and warning decals. Do not remove the decals from the machine, as they were installed to warn of potential dangers and prevent injuries. Replace any missing or damaged safety decals. Decals, also available in Spanish, may be purchased through your local Morbark dealer or from the factory if you do not have a local dealer. Your machine is equipped with a safety control bar and safety pull cables. The safety control bar is located around the perimeter opening of the infeed, which moves to the neutral, forward, neutral, and reverse positions. The safety control bar is attached to the valve bank using a linkage system and should be a daily inspection point before operating the chipper. The machine should be removed from service if the linkage is damaged or inoperable. The safety pull cables are located in the infeed and will stop the feed wheels when pulled in an emergency situation. If the safety control bar linkage or safety pull cables are damaged or missing, please contact your local Morbark dealer for replacement parts. It is crucial that operators understand the control bar and safety pull cable functions. The infeed table and infeed chute are designed to keep the operator a safe distance from the feed wheels. Their length, measured from the feed wheel to end of the infeed and down to the ground, should be at least 85 inches. If not, extension kits can be purchased for older models. Additionally, the infeed tray is designed as a place to set down the ends of the brush so you can let go and be sure you are not tangled in the brush before feeding. Remember, never stand on, lean into, or reach into an infeed chute while the machine is running. Machines manufactured after 2000 and with hinged, pivoting cutting system access are equipped with a hood interlock device to prevent the engine from starting or shuts it down if the cutting system hood is open. Older equipment can be retrofitted with an interlock device or replacement parts can be obtained through any Morbark dealer. Some machines are equipped with optional e-stops, which shut down the engine. E-stops are mushroom-shaped red buttons that can be added to any machine. E-stops are available for aftermarket installation by any Morbark dealer. Also, the optional bottom bump bar, if equipped, can be used to stop the feed wheels. Maintenance is the key to keeping your Morbark chipper performing at peak levels. As important as maintenance is to your chipper, it is equally important to perform all maintenance in a safe manner. A pre-start walk-around inspection of the machine should be completed each day before use. Inspection guidelines can be found throughout the operator's manual. Begin the inspection by removing the ignition key and following proper lockout-tagout procedures before inspecting or servicing the chipper. Inspect all nuts, bolts, belts, hydraulic hoses and fittings, making sure they're tight and free from excessive wear. Make sure there's nothing obstructing the infeed, especially foreign objects or objects lodged against the drum. Continue by checking all fluids, including engine oil, radiator coolant, hydraulic oil, and fuel, making sure they're at the appropriate operating levels. Check to see that the radiator is clear and free of debris and that all guards and safety shields are in place. Grease the machine according to the specifications noted in your operator's manual. Next, inspect the cutting system knives, anvil, and hardware. Prior to any maintenance or inspection, make sure the cutting system has come to a complete stop. It may take several minutes after the engine has been switched off for the cutting system to completely stop its rotation. Never attempt to open or close the chipper hood while the cutting system is moving. If the moving cutting system contacts the hood, an accident resulting in severe injury or death could occur. Begin by disconnecting the hood interlock device plug connection. Next, retract the spring-loaded latches or remove the linch pin from the end of the hood pin and slide the hood lock pin out to open the chipper hood. Next, carefully roll the cutting system to inspect the knives. Check the chipper knives, anvil, and mounting hardware, making sure that the cutting system hardware is in good operating condition and free from excessive wear. Check the knives for cracks, bending, sharpness, and wood packed beneath the knife. Next, insert the cutting system lock pin in the desired location. Morbark recommends the use of a torque wrench during cutting system maintenance to ensure bolts have been returned to the proper torque settings. A torque chart with specifications for various size bolts is provided in the operator's manual. When the cutting system inspection is complete, remove the cutting system lock pin. Close the hood. Return the spring-loaded latches to the locked position or install the hood lock pin and linch pin to make sure the hood is secured properly and reconnect the hood interlock device plug. Check the operation of the safety control bar, making sure it properly moves to the neutral, forward, neutral, and reverse positions. Check the operation of the safety pull cables to be certain they're working properly. If not, remove the machine from service until the safety control bar or safety pull cables are repaired or replaced. Securely attaching the chipper to the tow vehicle is the next step to pre-startup safety. Make sure the vehicle being transported does not exceed the rated capacity of the hitch or the gross vehicle weight rating of the tow vehicle. If your chipper has an adjustable length tongue, make sure the pins are properly installed and secured. Inspect the hitch and receiver prior to attaching the unit to the tow vehicle. Check the pintle ring or ball coupler and receiver hitch for excessive wear and replace if necessary. Always make sure the coupler is latched and a pin is placed through the coupler latching mechanism to prevent it from opening during travel. Next, make sure the safety chains are properly attached to the tow vehicle by crossing the chains beneath the tongue, allowing enough slack to avoid binding when making turns. Check the chains and tongue for broken links and wear. For units equipped with a breakaway actuator, make sure the cable is securely connected to the structural frame of the transport vehicle. Make sure the jack is raised, swung out of the way, or both for travel. Next, attach the electrical connector to the towing vehicle and check the lights and brakes to be sure they're working properly. Before refueling, make sure the machine has been allowed to properly cool down and that there are no open flames or source of sparks near the vicinity of the machine. Finally, check the tire air pressure and make sure the chipper is level for towing. Now you're ready to go. Make sure you and other crew members are wearing proper personal protection equipment. Never set up the chipper work area under the tree to be pruned, cut, or worked on, and whenever possible, the chipper should be set up on level ground. Check to see if the work site is free of hazards, such as electrical and utility pole wires. If the machine remains hitched to the vehicle during chipping, apply the parking brake, chock the tires to prevent rolling, and double-check the hitch is secure and the safety chains are properly attached. If the unit is detached from the tow vehicle during chipping, make sure that wheel chocks are placed at the front and rear of wheels to keep the chipper from moving. Check to be sure the infeed is cleared of all material and foreign objects. Examine the brush pile for foreign objects before chipping. Remove the ignition key when the machine is left unattended. Never operate a chipper alone. Always have at least 2 trained operators on the ground. The second operator should be close enough to the chipper infeed area to be able to see, hear, and react to assist the other operator in the event of an emergency. A partner up a tree is no help in an emergency on the ground. Never operate the machine while under the influence of drugs or alcohol, or while taking medication that may impair your judgment, ability to concentrate, or reaction time. Always be prepared in case of an accident. Have a first aid kit with an approved ABC fire extinguisher on site and know how to use it. Before starting the chipper, make sure the clutch is disengaged, the safety control bar is in neutral, all personnel are clear of the machine, and the chip discharge chute is pointed in a safe direction, away from buildings, bystanders, and operators. Material for the chipper should be situated in a way that makes it easy and convenient for the operator to feed the chipper. The butt ends of the brush should face the chipper infeed. Place the brush stacks at a reasonable distance from the chipper to allow the operator a clear path. Keep walking paths and work areas as clean as possible, as brush in the immediate vicinity of the chipper infeed can become a tripping hazard for the operator. When starting the machine, briefly idle the machine to warm it up. Be careful not to let the unit idle more than 5 minutes without the clutch engaged, as it may damage the clutch pilot bearing. Engage the clutch and raise the engine RPMs to full throttle. Always run the chipper at full throttle when chipping to ensure proper discharge of material and to avoid plugging. Check the operation of the control bar and bottom bump bar if equipped to be sure they're working properly. Feed the brush into the chipper butt end first. Feed from the side of the chipper, never from directly in front of the infeed. To safely feed short material, place the safety control bar in neutral to stop the feed wheel and lay the short material on top of longer material to be chipped. Place the control bar in the forward position to turn the feed system back on. Never attempt to feed handfuls of twigs, leaves, or other debris that has been raked up. There is no way to safely place these materials into the chipper without breaking the infeed plate. Instead, place these materials directly onto the chip van or chip pile. These materials are not only a hazard to feed, but may contain rocks, metal, or other contaminants that can damage the chipper. The most important safety rule to remember is to never, under any circumstance, place your feet or hands inside the infeed chute. Never attempt to feed the machine while standing in front of the infeed chute, and never attempt to kick, pull, or push material while the machine is running. Take note and be aware that when feeding the chipper, branches can twist and turn, causing struck-by accidents which can cause injury or even push an operator into moving traffic. Push paddles are wooden paddles that can be used to push small material to the feed wheels and keep operators away from the chute area. Metal objects such as shovels or rakes should not be used to push material in because the metal can cause serious injury to the operator and/or damage the chipper if caught in the feed wheels. Wooden push paddles are an available option and can be added to any make or model of chipper by contacting your local Morbark dealer. Occasionally, chipping conditions lead to a clogged chute. If not done properly, unclogging the chute can cause serious injury. Never try to unclog the machine while it's running. To unclog a chute, follow these simple steps. Complete the lockout-tagout procedure to prevent incidental starting of the engine during maintenance. Pull visible material out from the open end of the discharge chute. If the unit has an optional cleanout door on the chute, open and remove any accessible debris. If the unit does not have a cleanout door, or if material is unreachable through the cleanout door, have 2 people lower the chute to gain access to the clogged area. Securely support the chute while removing the rear support bolts. Never stand directly under the chute, as it can fall. Once the chute is lowered, remove any remaining clogged material. Never attempt to remove material by starting the machine and engaging the chipper to blow material out. Reinstall the components and resume chipping, starting with small material to determine if the chipper discharges properly. A winch is a very useful tool in reducing ground labor and even preventing injuries, especially those caused while lifting heavy objects. But if used improperly, a winch can be a safety hazard. Winch accidents can occur when the winch and cable are overloaded or when the cable is caught on brush and is fed into the chipper, which can also cause serious damage to the chipper. If your machine is equipped with an optional winch, care must be taken to ensure that it is used safely. The chipper must be attached to the tow vehicle when using the winch. Also, the operator should check to see that the tow vehicle's parking brake is set and that the wheels are chocked. Before loading the winch, inspect the cable before each use to be sure it is not worn or frayed. The winch operator should alert all other crew members that the winch is in operation so that crew member entanglement can be avoided while the winch is in use. All crew members are to be aware of the location and movement of the winch cable at all times during winch use. Use the winch to feed the material into the feed wheels. To properly operate the optional winch feature, follow these steps. Begin by placing the safety control bar in the neutral position. Release the winch brake lock mechanism and shift the winch brake control lever located on the side of the winch to the off position. This releases the winch brake and places the winch in the freewheel mode. Pull the winch rope or cable out to the material to be drawn to the chipper. Do not let fingers or other body parts get pinched or crushed by the winch line. Attach the rope or cable to the butt end of the log with a choker or by tying the winch rope or cable off to itself. Return the winch brake lock mechanism to the on position. Use the hydraulic control valve located on the rear of the infeed to draw the material up to the infeed tray. Once the material has reached the infeed tray, lower the rope or cable so the material rests firmly on the infeed tray and there is enough slack to remove the winch rope or cable from the log. Relocate the winch rope or cable further down the log. Secure the winch rope or cable and draw the material to the feed system. Once the material reaches the feed system, place the control bar in the forward position just long enough to allow the material to enter the feed system. Do not allow the material to be pulled into the cutting system with the rope or cable attached. Shift the safety control bar to the neutral position, slacken the winch rope or cable, and remove from the load. Retract the rope or cable fully and properly stow before resuming feed. Do not allow the rope or cable to be pulled out again until the material has been completely chipped. The rope or cable should always be fully retracted while material is being chipped. The tow vehicle should never be used to pull the load attached to the winch, as this could overload the capacity of the cable and cause failure and the potential for serious injury. In conclusion, safety is an attitude. It's important that everyone working on or around the chipper be properly trained in the operation and safety of the unit. Wearing proper personal protective equipment and clothing, following pre-startup procedures, following proper chipper operation safety guidelines, sticking to a preventative and ongoing maintenance schedule, and continuing an ongoing safety education program will give you the fundamentals needed to make sure your chipping operation is safe and successful.